How are we doing, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of Cubs Daily. My name is Steven Ryan, and we got a lot of fun topics to dive into. We got some potential future Cubs in the mix. The Cubs land in Tokyo, and I love seeing the photos and the videos of the players interacting with the culture there. Lots of fun. And then we will preview the Cubs starting rotation this year. But before we get into all that, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below. Who's going to be the best starting pitcher for the Cubs this year? Is it Shota, Justin Steele, or is it going to be a mystery player that we don't know about? Let me know in the comments below. So, let's dive into it. Per Bob Nightingale and many other reliable sources across Major League Baseball, it looks like the Cubs are in talks with Lance Lynn. Lance Lynn, former Cardinal, has had a very, very solid career. We're going to go over some of the numbers for him right now, actually. Let's take a look at the career numbers for Lance Lynn. Obviously, when you played more than 10 plus years in Major League Baseball, you are a pretty solid ball player. There's no question about that. He's got a career 3.74 ERA. He's pitched just over 2,000 innings, and he strikes out just over a batter an inning. Opponent batting average, 243. Again, that's closer to league average these days. So, obviously towards the end of a pitcher's lifespan, they don't necessarily do as well as previously. So, it's kind of a high risk, high reward deal, I'd say, with the Cubs and signing Lance Lynn. I'm not too excited about it because, as you guys are about to see in our starting staff preview, I kind of like what the Cubs have as it sits right now. And I only think the way you want to mess with that flow is if you're going to get a bona fide stud ace. I understand the move from the Cubs' perspective, though. You always want to add depth. You can never have too many arms. Even if Lance Lynn becomes, a bullpen arm. I just think it kind of maybe might mess with the vibe of this team. Again, former Cardinal, a lot of negative memories. Doesn't mean you should not invite him to the team, but I don't think it's necessarily the best signing for the Cubs. But again, the market is the market, right? If these are the only arms that are available, then honestly, that's kind of what the Cubs are going to have to go with. So I understand taking a flyer on the guy. Again, not expecting a lot from Lance Lynn. Let's take a look at the numbers one more time. Again, 3.74 ERA. If he could come in, give us a couple of serviceable outings, he doesn't have to be the frontline ace he was for the Cardinals. If he's a solid fifth starter or even a long inning reliever, maybe, just maybe, the deal will be worth it for the Cubs in the end. But we'll get to more into the Cubs starting rotation here in a bit. But let's talk about what's going to be happening early next week. Yep, set your alarms, ladies and gentlemen. 5 a.m. We'll be here very early. The Cubs have officially landed in Tokyo. And ladies and gentlemen, the vibes are absolutely immaculate. Let's take a look at some of the photos. Like our main man, Justin Turner, right here. Justin Turner. Ooh, gotta reverse the camera. Justin Turner, balling right here. Look at this kimono he's got on. Pete Crow Armstrong's laughing from the bidet. Absolutely hilarious. I love to see it. I like to see the team gelling. You got everyone's family out there. Justin Steele and his sig other taking a beautiful picture. And then you got a couple of other young pitchers, Pearson and Haji, taking some photos for the Cubs as well. So love to see the team interacting with the culture, especially when two of the more prominent players, Shota and Seiya, are a part of the team. And honestly, the Cubs, they went to Tokyo, I believe, in 2000, and I believe they went one time before or in between this as well. But it's always a lot of fun. I don't want to look too much into these first two games. I know that they matter, ladies and gentlemen, but let's just take a sit back, enjoy the time. I really am happy for Seiya and Shota. Shota gets to start the first game for the Cubs this year in his homeland, Japan. Absolutely exciting times. You guys know I'm going to have to get up at 5 a.m. I got to watch this stuff, Love that baseball's back. And we get to face off against the Dodgers, so it's going to be an early test on for us. So hopefully the team's having a good time. They're getting ready. They are also going to be doing 2 preliminary warm-up games against 2 other Japanese teams. That's going to start tomorrow night on Marquee Network. So if you guys want to watch some late-night baseball, that is going to be there for you as well. So there's one other viral video that has taken place since the team went over to Japan, and that is our main man, Seiya Suzuki. Seiya Suzuki, maybe, just maybe, had the coolest way of taking batting practice I've ever seen. Look at this. I got it right here for us. Let's take a look at this. He brought out a samurai sword. Look at this thing. Taking some clean hacks and just look at these balls. Just splitting them in half. The hand-eye coordination. I don't know if that's necessarily a training technique over there in Japan, but look at that ball. That's just in half. Clean in half with the sharp blade. Oh my goodness gracious. That is insane to look at. Let's look at it one more time, just in case you missed it. I mean, look at that. In the box. Taking clean hacks. Oof. Oof. Man, I love the look of this. I love the vibes. Again, I hope the Cubs are having an absolutely good time. Again, splitting those baseballs right down the middle. I mean, maybe that's a good way to test and see if you're squaring up the rock, right? Like, if you could split the baseball right down the middle with a samurai sword, maybe you're just on point and maybe say us locked in for this series against the Dodgers. So, again, less than a week away. Again, you can watch the Cubs, I believe, tomorrow night, or it'll be tonight, actually, when this video debuts. Late night, 10 o'clock. Have fun. Enjoy the baseball. I believe it's going to be Jameson Taillon going and Matthew Boyd going in these two preliminary games. And then for the two main games, it's going to be Shota Imanaga versus Yamamoto, and then Sasaki versus Steele. First two regular season games for the Cubs both start at 5 a.m. Central Time. So make sure you guys set your calendars. And hopefully the Cubs can get off to the right footing in this situation, because we need to make sure we have a strong staff rotation going into the year. As I previously mentioned, the Cubs are in preliminary talks. I'm signing Lance Lynn. I would only imagine that it's going to be a 1-year deal. And I don't know if they would plug him in right away. Obviously, I think he's got to ramp up. He hasn't had a spring training. So let's take a look at the Cubs rotation real quick. This is the projected starting five that I'm seeing right now. Now, number one is very arguable, right? It could be Justin Steele. Justin Steele has been the longtime Cubs ace, I would say. Shota, only having been here a year. I just know that they're giving Shota the nod game one. I think that's just for the culture sake. He gets to start in his homeland, all that good stuff. But, I mean, if you have Justin Steele number two or him number one, flip-flopping them, I totally understand. Cubs are going to have kind of a unique advantage in this situation as well, ladies and gentlemen. They're going to get to start their two frontline pitchers against the Dodgers, and then they all get to rest again. And then for domestic opening day, they'll get to throw out Shota and Justin Steele again. So kind of getting a little extra head start, a little extra juice. Hopefully this rotation can stay healthy throughout the year. I put Colin Ray fifth because of the injuries to Javier Assad. I think Ben Brown and Jordan Wicks are going to get more work in AAA to start the year. But I think as the season goes on, and especially if Colin Ray and or Lance Lynn doesn't necessarily work out, depending on if we get Lance Lynn, I think Jordan Wicks, Ben Brown, or Javier Assad could absolutely take the mantle on that front. Because if you look at the stats from last year, Javier Assad was the third best pitcher on the Cubs. He had a 3.73 ERA, absolutely fantastic season. So I think he could easily slot in for that fifth slot on the Cubs rotation, no doubt. Obviously, I would love to give Jordan Wicks a look, but maybe for this specific roster, he's more of a, he's more of a bullpen arm because they don't have many lefties. They have Thielbar and Jordan Wicks, and that's about it for right now. So let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section below. Lots of different ways the Cubs can approach this season, and I think that's how Craig Counsell likes it. He likes to mix and match. He likes to poke and prod. He likes to give up different matchups and all that good stuff. So excited to watch the Cubs this year. We're only a few days away, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be back tomorrow with another one. Peace.